Good afternoon, dear colleagues. The situation yesterday was tense. The intensity of fire compared with previous day a little bit decreased, but the militants continued to use mortars in all three sectors. Now information in more detail. The Lugansk sector, Stanично-Lugansk region, here in the evening, the occupants delivered 3 grenade launcher shelling, 2 in the regional center and one in Valuisk, the Novaidarsk region. There it was relatively calm, and the enemy violated ceasefire once in Krymske and once in Lobacheva. The Popasnensky region, the militants repeatedly opened fire in Katerinivka-Troitska part of front line. Shellings were mainly during second part of the day. The most tense situation was observed in Katerinovka, where Russian occupation forces launched at the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine about 25 mines. And one more armed provocation with the use of mortars was in Novozvanivka and one in Troitska. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Lugansk sector, there were 12 enemy shellings, including 3 with the use of mortars. Donetsk sector, Svetlodarsk Balch here. Yesterday, the occupants conducted one armed provocation with the use of machine guns. Gorlovka perimeter. At night and during the day, the militants used shelled Zaitseva, and in the morning, Mayorsk. And during the afternoon, the enemy delivered short mortar shelling in Verkhnetorets, region of Avdiivka. Here, the enemy opened fire 5 times, 3 times with the use of mortars, and military actions near Kamenka started at 5 p.m. and lasted for 5 hours. The Donetsk airport, in the evening, the militants conducted short armed provocation with the use of mortars in Opatna, and then they shelled Piski with machine gun fire. On the whole, in the Donetsk sector, there were 14 shellings delivered by the enemy, including 6 with the use of mortars. In Mariupol sector, sniper groups of the enemy were active. There were 5 instances of sniper fire. The Mariinsky region yesterday at night and during the day, the occupants repeatedly opened fire with the use of small arms and grenade launchers, and one more shelling was in Krasnogorivka. Volnovasky region, here 1 shelling was in Novogrigorivka and Bogdanivka. Pavlopil-Shirokina part of front line. Yesterday, there were many short-term provocations with the use of small arms. And in Vodyane, there were 2 mortar shellings, and 1 in Gnutova and 1 in Shirokina. Traditionally, military actions are conducted there during the day and at night. On the whole, in the Mariupol sector, there were 28 enemy shellings, including 4 with the use of mortars. During the last 24 hours, as a result of the military actions, 1 Ukrainian serviceman was killed and 7 were wounded or got traumas. And the heaviest losses are in Katerinivka. There, in the course of enemy fire, 1 serviceman died and 2 were wounded. 2 servicemen blew up on an explosive device in the region of Krymske. 1 serviceman was wounded in Avdiivka, and 1 in Marienka, and 1 in Vodyane. Our hearts go out to the relatives of the servicemen who were killed. And in Khersonshina, SBU, together with Military Prosecutor's Office, revealed a network of supply of ammunition from the region of ATO. 2 servicemen who serve under contract in Kherson Oblast established a network of selling ammunition to civilians. These servicemen were detained while they were trying to sell 5 RGD grenades, 3 hand F1 grenades, and the RPG-22 grenade launcher. And in Lutsk, They completed the training for bomber aviations of the 1 Detached Brigade of Tactical Aviation of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Crews were trained to complete tasks both during the day and at night, flying bombers and reconnaissance airplanes, and they were trained to counteract air defense of the enemy and radio electronic warfare of the imaginary enemy. And also they were training for the crews of armored vehicles at the National Guard. They had 1 week training. They were trained during the day and at night. They were trained in driving the vehicles, and also they had live fire exercises. There are no questions. Thank you for your attention.